Hello everyone and welcome to the second semi-final of the Champions Trophy 2025. My name's Jack Josephs. I'm one of the Royal Tennis Court professionals and I'm joined with Peter Wright.
Jack, good afternoon. Ex-real tennis player and ageing current paddle player.
So Peter, it's been about a year or 2 years almost?
I think 2 years since I had to stop playing.
Yeah.
So, fortunately the knee's not at all bad. I would recommend the treatment that I had.
What was the treatment you had?
It is, I think, something called Arthramid, which means injections into your knee to give you, in effect, a little bit of artificial cartilage.
Okay.
And it seems to have done the trick, because in the last 2 years I've had very little pain and can still manage to run around and not look too old and too shabby. So
I'm sure that will give a lot of our viewers some hope.
I was very fortunate in that the surgeon I saw is, I think, one of the few in this country to recommend a treatment which is, by all accounts, quite common in Holland. But also since then I've spoken to a few people, one of whom was an Irish paddle player who was also a surgeon who'd injected a couple of his teammates and did his own knee himself. As only doctors are wont to do, I'm sure.
Do you want to tell us very briefly what you've been up to since you've been retired from real tennis?
Unfortunately still having to work, so still doing the same consulting stuff that I've been doing for 25 years or so. Still working at weekends and evenings trying to get my Racketeer website to make me a little more money, so selling a little bit of sports memorabilia. And whenever I'm not doing that, endeavouring to run around and keep age at bay and hit a few balls on a paddle court.
Fantastic. Okay, so in this second semi-final match we have got Bryn Sayers, world ranking number 8, showing a Queen's Club professional. He's been here before. Looking at just some of his career highlights there, he's won the British Open in 2012 and the US in the same year. Got to the World Championship final eliminator in 2012 as well.
So one of the few people playing any racket sport who hits the ball with 2 hands on the racket at the same time.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? He's almost playing a left-handed forehand on that backhand side, isn't he? Because he's holding the racket with his left hand below his right.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you'd necessarily teach anyone, but it seems to work for him. I think tennis-wise, I can only think of Fabrice Santoro, French gentleman who played maybe 20, 30 years ago, who hit the ball with 2 hands on the racket.
And then on the hazard end, world number 3, Nick Howell from Aiken in the US. Professional player, aged 38. So 2 of our slightly older players competing in the tournament, but both looking in very good physical shape. Had a comment from Kerry Blaber, who said you should speak to Scott about your knee treatment.
I will mention that to Scott after the game. I think this could be an interesting matchup. Not that the previous one wasn't, but I think these 2 guys are a little bit more different in terms of their style of play. So I think it will be a case of Bryn trying to absorb Nicky's power and Nicky trying to knock Bryn off court as and when he gets the opportunity to unleash a huge forehand.
And what did you think of the first semi-final we had between John Lumley and Ben Taylor Matthews?
I thought it was interesting in that they both played a very similar game. I think the match was probably decided on a few points here or there. They weren't hitting the ball that hard unless they had a real opportunity and an easy ball to put away. So I think for club players watching this, it's something to bear in mind that you don't have to hit the ball at 120 miles an hour to win points. If you can just control it and keep it into corners, force your opponent to hit the ball up, it can become a very, very simple game.
Yeah, agreed. I think it was a real good example for everyone watching of control, good rallying.
Semi-final. The receivers end, we have Nikki Howell.
Yeah.
The servers end, we have Bryn Sayers. Best of 3, 10 sets. Come all, play. Love.
That is an excellent comment, Miss.
Thank you.
Indeed, James Mell does play
15
with 2 hands on both sides. Thank you, Simon. He'll be another one to add to the very short list. I have a feeling there may be a 4th for our older watchers. So I think somebody like Jean or Sandy Mayer back in the 70s may have played lawn tennis using both hands on the racket on both sides.
Really good from Bryn, just absorbing the pace early on, not letting any balls past him yet. So I think
He had a lot of pace to absorb in the course of the next 2 or 3 sets.
A lot of pace. Any opportunity he has. Just like that.
As St. Gallery, 2 chases. 15 all.
I only played against Nikki once, and that was in an exhibition doubles, so he may well have gone a little easy on me. Though I was playing with Hampton at the time, so maybe not that easy, but he didn't unleash too much. But of the people who've played in the last 10, 15, 20 years, he's got to be up there with the people that hit the ball as hard as anybody.
No more, Nick. No more. 15 all. Worse than the second gallery. Ball. .30-15, Hazard second gallery. All.
It's another sign of the pace that he can unleash off either the volley or the floor.
Half a yard worse than 6. 30 all. Box. One chase.
So neither player really giving too much away early on in this first game. Not too many rallies so far.
I think it gives us a flavour of what we're going to see in that I think Bryn's going to try and keep the ball tight and short and on the floor. And Nicky's going to try and hit the ball hard at Bryn or at targets.
40-30 the serve leads.
Half a yard worse than 6.
Half a yard worse than 6.
Interesting to see if Nicky goes aggressive on this ball. Must have put it in the corner. Finish from Bryn.
And the first game to the server.
Two very different personalities on the court. Ball up, Bryn. Ball.
Sorry, is everyone got... Oh, sorry. Thank you.
I was going to have to shout down, Peter.
Thank you. Level. Love. Just the yard. 15 love.
Choice.
6, 2 chases.
Nicky just keeping the rally short from that hazard side. Finished the point after the return of serve.
Just wondering what serves Bryn's going to try and use to stop Nicky from teeing off on that first ball.
It's interesting, so far in the tournament, he's been opting for the railroad. Doesn't seem his most natural serve, but I think on this court it's working quite well.
Worse than 6. Lost the chase. 40 love.
Finish.
1 game all. 1 all.
1 game all. Nicky steps up for another railroad.
Very casually flicked back in.
Up.
It's not all about the pace, obviously.
Tidy.
Thank you.
Nicky certainly seems to be getting quite a lot of work on his railroad. Kind of plays back to something that Giles was saying earlier around the back wall taking more spin since it's been repainted in the last couple of months.
Oh, it's brilliant play from Bryn. Left-handed volley. Yeah, it's. I think a few of the players have been taken aback a bit with how much that railroad's kicking off the back wall and just the bounce off the back wall in general. And yeah, you're completely right. We had the walls painted a couple of months ago, and you could tell straight away. I think I had a hit on the court with Scott, and just the difference was crazy. I mean, it already kicked quite a lot of this back wall compared to a lot of courts, but I don't know what they did to it, but made it extra grippy.
Again, I'd
30
imagine
love,
Nicky's
receiver
a
leads.
strong guy, so
better
he's
than
going to
the
get
second
quite a lot of
gallery.
work on the ball, which is going to work on most courts, but if you've got back wall taking spin, it's going to kick out even more.
Wins the chase. 40 love, worse than 2.
Great shot.
15-40. Oh.
Yeah, I think Bryn's going to be facing a lot of tight railroads, but at the same time, with the extra grip, it does give you chances if you just slightly overspin it. So see if Nicky can.
It's a risk-reward shot, isn't it? It's either very good
Yeah.
or really not that great.
Exactly. Finish. It's really tidy for
Game.
Nicky. Good start.
2 games to 1, the receiver leads. 2-1.
Not many balls on the penthouse or along the back wall yet.
Got his boxing. 15
Grateful
love.
that wasn't us, Peter.
I'm sure one of us would have caught the ball had it come our way.
Stroke. 30-15.
Great finish again from Nicky.
He's not missing many target opportunities, is he?
Really accurate.
And a good change up to finish.
3 games to 1, the receiver
Yeah,
leads.
he's moving Bryn
3-1.
around really well. And he's also taking his chances. So be happy with the start.
Better than a yard. Level.
I think he's able to open up the court by hitting the ball as hard as he does, and then Bryn's almost expecting that big shot, which then gives him the opportunity to hit something a little bit slower and lower.
Then in the second gallery, 2 chases. Level.
But it also looks like it's quite tough to read it, whether he's going to go straight or he's going to hit no more.
Yeah. Really, really difficult to see where Nicky's going to hit that ball. So
It's quite whippy, isn't it?
yeah.
In fact, he could go straight at you, kind of straight but to the left of you, or make more force.
Yeah.
Which means
Can't cover it all.
you're quite flat-footed when he does hit something at you.
Of course, I think Bryn's just been on the road to recovery from I believe, a hip surgery over the past year. So
Level.
this is a big test for him.
Better than a yard. Lost the chase, better than 3.
It's a great first volley.
15 love, server leads, better than the second gallery. in the second gallery. Love. Love.
Difficult to know if Bryn feels he's got to maybe hit things a little harder than he wants, or go for a little bit more than he would normally, because he's not going to get that many chances.
Almost feels like he's still kind of figuring out his game plan as he goes along. Hasn't quite settled into a rhythm yet.
Last gallery, 1540 and a chase.
If you're constantly on the back foot and constantly trying to figure out where your opponent's going to hit the ball, getting a rhythm's quite tricky.
So if anyone watching at home has got any questions or any comments, feel free to put it in the live chat. We're here to answer anything and everything, so
or at least try to answer.
Try to answer, exactly.
$15.40, the receiver leads. Last gallery. Game. That's 4 games to 1. The receiver leads.
What a start from the defending champion.
Just thinking how his forehand cut volley appears to have just that little bit more work on than the match we saw previously, and Bryn's return as well.
I agree with that.
Oh, that's low. How's that done?
Maybe it's helped by the fact that it's very easy to spot his opponent with the bright pink shoes he's wearing as well. So
maybe Bryn's railroad's slightly slower, easier to hit.
Yeah.
Pete, I want you to have a look at Bryn's ball toss on those railroad. Tell me what you think.
Seems to be quite a long way over to his left, which that means he has to step a long way to the left in order that he can hit the ball where he wants to.
Yard to chases.
Seems slightly unusual. He's throwing the ball to the left, slightly behind him. He's taking a step back to the left.
So it means he takes all his weight away from the direction in which he then wants to hit the ball. So he quite possibly imparts a bit more spin doing that, but he'll definitely lose a lot of pace. And whether that has anything to do with playing at Queens as long and as often as he has done, where the railroad isn't a great weapon.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know if he's doesn't look as natural to him as this sort of high side or underarm serve, so I'm not sure if it's specifically because of the core that he's serving it, or if that's just the way he serves it.
Chase, 40-15, better than half a yard. Game, that's 5 5 games to 1. Serve lead.
Certainly needs to find something very quickly to just kind of get a foothold in the game somehow.
Split finish again. See, I mean, on Nicky's railroad there, he's throwing the ball dead straight over his right shoulder.
There's certainly a lot more pace to it, isn't there? And a lot more spin to it. It therefore keeps very, very close to the sidewall.
15 all.
But it also gets up. It gets up the course a long way because it's got so much pace behind it.
So Nicky looking to close out the set.
Certainly one of the advantages of having two hands on the racket, you can just kind of flick it the wrong way at the last minute.
Worse than 5, 2 chases. 30-15.
So Jack, if you were Bryn's coach right now, what would you be telling him to do?
That's a great question. I mean,
thank you.
Bryn would be a brave man to employ me as his coach, I think.
Stepping aside from that, as the first question
I think
that he might be asking himself.
The first thing I'd do is just, if I were Bryn, I know how well he can serve that high sidewall. It works pretty well on this court. We've got a high ceiling, and it'd be difficult for Nicky to attack it. So I think I'd start there, change up the serve a little bit, ask a few more questions.
Next chase, 7-4, 30 all. Worse than 5.
So at the moment, it just doesn't seem like he's getting into enough rallies to be able to dictate in any way.
Yeah. And it doesn't help when you serve it onto the back penthouse like that.
No. I think he's also hit a lot of balls onto the penthouses during rallies, because I think of the pressure that he's under.
Set point for Nicky.
Bolt.
That's another chance for Nicky to just do what he wants to do.
Worse than second gallery, 40-30, and a chase.
And I'm not sure of the numbers, but I reckon he must have hit penthouses in 10 to 15 rallies.
He's not quite looking himself in this first set. Had a really good win against Leon Smart yesterday.
40-30, serve leads.
It just seems to me in the first instance he needs to find a way of getting into some points that then become some games, and at least putting a bit of doubt into Nicky's mind as to what he needs to do.
Game and
the first set
to the server.
Goes to Nicky Howell.
6 games to 1.
6 games to 1.
I was given a great bit of advice many years ago when I was playing tennis, lawn tennis, which apparently was a bit of advice that Harry Hopman, the old Australian Davis Cup coach, used to give out to the likes of Laver and Rosewood.
Second set.
There are hundreds of ways to lose a match, so you might as well try them all.
I like that a lot.
And I'm wondering what the other ways are that Bryn can try that might not be his A game, but at least something that's just a little bit different to break up Nicky's rhythm or make him do something different.
Yeah. I think his plan A isn't doing enough at the moment. See what he does on this return. Oi! That corner.
Excellent evasive action by the spectators. I think they lose marks for not making an attempt to catch the ball.
Another target for Nicky.
I wonder whether that might be part of Bryn's new plan, that he's going to just hit that return.
The short post.
Main all but short. And you've only got to do it once or twice to then make the server think, is he going to do it again? And then he doesn't dash into the forehand corner, and then suddenly the forehand cross-court volley is a better shot. That's a set that's been dominated by Nicky, 25 points to 10. 81% of serves won, which is, I think, the biggest percentage we've seen so far today.
Not many targets hit, not many grills, one each. Which just seems surprising, I think.
Yeah, I think he's just hitting it at and through Bryn rather than necessarily into the targets. But you're right, I'm surprised. I thought he'd hit more than that.
One grill.
I think that's partly because you kind of just see the pace and imagine that that must equate to targets rather than just putting Bryn under pressure through that pace.
It looks like Nicky hasn't even really got started yet. I mean, he's choosing to cut these balls into the corners that you'd normally see him rip a main wall drive or a straight drive.
That's smart because he's saying, you know what, I don't need to hit everything hard.
Yeah.
And I'm hitting something hard, and I can then make those easier shots more likely to be winners. It's tough to dash into a corner if you're Bryn, if all your weight's on your back for expecting the ball to be going through your nose.
Yeah, a shot like that is just not going to dive on that back wall.
No.
First game, the second set.
It almost looked like he didn't hit it with any conviction.
No.
Just sort of pushed it in rather than anything else.
Rushed it.
Yep.
So I had the pleasure of working with Nicky Howell's dad in Melbourne, who I know for a fact won't be watching this because he gets too nervous.
That is a brutal hit.
Another great shot.
Yep. Considering he slightly misread that serve. What was that about the high sidewall serve, coach?
Just got to serve it better, I think.
I was about to say, it's not always what you serve, is it? It's how well you serve it.
Yeah, and he obviously hasn't been hitting it much, so if he does start serving it, he just needs to find a rhythm with it. Obviously, that's the serve at Queen's, his home court, where it's just so difficult to return. But
presumably, different courts, different dimensions and lengths makes it difficult to hit the same serve. Because it's not quite the same serve.
Exactly, you can hit the same serve on two different courts and get two different outcomes. So. So what do you think, Peter? Can you see Bryn?
So if I was him, I'd be working on the Brad Gilbert school of playing ugly, and you've just got to start slowing down time between points. You've got to take more time at changeovers. You've got to eat a bit of more banana than you would have done. It's just a whole bunch of things to just really annoy your opponent, to maybe get him to a point where he rushes, and then he's annoyed at you, and he's worried about what you're doing rather than the game.
Maybe scuff the penalty spot.
It's all those kinds of things that Brad Gilbert was unbelievably good at doing. And
15 all.
maybe not within the law of the game, or even the spirit, but you can just about get away with it. But he's got to find something.
Comes to mind the England Colombia penalty shootout in the World Cup a few years ago. All the Colombian players scuffing the penalty spot.
Shocking behaviour.
Dirty tactics, but
it's amazing how often in sport that'll get you somewhere.
Half yard. 2 chases.
But it's just, as I say, something that gets your opponent out of that comfort zone that they might be in. Maybe a few words of encouragement at the change of ends.
so brilliant to see Robert Shankman tuning in. He's got he's got one question for you, Peter. He's asking, any tips for hitting a smash in
30
paddle?
receiver leads 5 and 6.
1 or 2 shankers. I'll go back to you on that one in a second.
Better than half a yard.
It's a big point for Bryn. He needs to find some way of giving himself a chance to just slide into the set and the match somehow.
Chase 40-30.
Game point for Bryn. First one of the set.
Bolt. Chase better than yard. 40-30 in the chase.
I feel that was a big point. A little bit of momentum with Bryn, and then Nicky goes and hits her.
Yeah, big return, great backhand volley. So whilst they're changing ends, I'll return to Mr. Shankman's question about smashing in paddle. First of all, it depends which side of the court you're playing on. Massive difference in technique, whether you play right court or left court.
40-30.
And also
the
the
receiver lead.
where the ball is in relation to the net. So if it's really close, you can pop it out. If it's not so close, it's just get yourself back in the rally. And get back closing the net down. I'm sure Shankers is an attacking left court player when he plays his paddle, so in that case it's a case of just hitting it as hard as you can.
So any you played paddle with any real tennis players, any pros?
So I have played a few tournaments with Charlie Packham, that was head pro at Hollyport many years ago, and in fact Charlie and I played National League together back in the, I don't know, 2007, 2008, something like that.
Oh wow.
And I did also get on court with Mr. Wood. We played a couple of tournaments in Brentwood in Essex last year, but unfortunately not since.
15 love. 15 love.
Schenkers is a defensive right court player.
Why does that not surprise me?
No worse than the last gallery, 2 chases.
Just needs to find something else, doesn't he? Not quite happening for him today. I still just don't think he's found a comfortable serve yet. Hasn't found a rhythm with it.
No. And whether that's having any impact on what he can and can't do when he's returning, or whether it's just that Nicky's serving so well that he's under pressure from both ends. In which case it makes it difficult to know what to do. It's not as if he can chip galleries and get from one end to another because he's struggling at both ends.
Easy finish, and it just railroads.
A yard worse than the last gallery.
It's not working.
Chase. 40.
At this
love.
level, you rarely see so many railroad serves go long. Here he is, high side.
No. 1 and 2. 40 love and a chase.
But again, first ball that Nicky hits, Bryn's under pressure, and from then on he's just chasing the rally.
Yeah, Nicky's looking really strong out there. Not having to work too hard, to be honest.
No, he seems like you're right, he's dictating most of the points.
Been pretty pleased with his tournament so far. He's had a big win over Ben Taylor Matthews yesterday. What was it yesterday?
2 days ago?
2 days ago. 4-love down in the first set. Went on to win 6-4, 6-love.
He looks like the kind of player that could go on a bit of a run against people because he can just play through them and takes the whole game away from them, and they then don't quite know what to do and how to win a point.
40 love, server leads. 1 and 2. Chasing the game.
Got away with that one.
4 games to love, server leads. Out of court. 15 love.
Does look to me as if Nicky's just stopped hitting his railroad in those last 3 points, not hitting them quite as hard. Has suddenly been put under a little bit more pressure. And then goes back to the serve that's been getting him lots of advantage. Great retrieving by Bryn there.
40 love.
Wow.
That's tough.
15, 40.
When the game's not going for you, it's amazing how many of those little bad bounces or nudges off a ledge you get.
What do you think is going through Bryn's head right now? Is he thinking about what he's going to serve? Is he thinking about his bigger game plan?
I think it could be any one of a number of things.
Is he thinking,
what the heck's going on here?
am I in time for lunch?
Let's hope this gets a little better, or do I just get off here and plan for the next match? Or hopefully he's thinking, so what can I do to hang in here and give myself a chance? And it's just a point at a time and a game at a time.
Whoa.
That doesn't help you.
30-40.
That's well played. Good finish.
First game for Bryn Sayers in the second set.
1 game to 4. The receiver leads 1-4. Ball. Better than 6. Level.
Smash the post.
Nicky is certainly making him work
15
very hard, isn't
love.
he? One corner to the other corner, back to the first corner.
Bolts. All. Bolts.
That's the finish.
The high sidewall that you mentioned he should hit, he seemed to have missed that
30-15.
as a fault on a lot of occasions. Is that his court position? Is that where he's hitting it in the court, or a bit of both?
Yeah, I mean, the position he just hit that one from is more
Yard worse than the last gallery.
like the position I would have sort of suggested to take up, because you obviously got a much better angle when you're higher up the court and on the right hand side of the court as opposed to the back in the middle. So I don't know. Obviously he's got his game plan and he's got his plan with the serve, so maybe there's a reason he's decided to do it from back there. Again, naturally you'd think standing close to the main ball up the court, the last gallery would be the most
They get the best angle.
best angle, so
Receiver leads better than 6.
he's not going over there.
All, nearly a yard worse than the last gallery. Wins the chase, better than 2. 40-30. 4 games to 2, serve lead.
Looks to me again like Nicky's serve is just a little bit off, and he's giving Bryn the opportunity to take control of the rally or hit his target.
It's done well to keep that serve tight. I thought it was going to drift, spin back towards the side wall, but been surprised about the lack of grills hit today in both matches actually.
30 love.
I haven't seen the count for the last match, but it didn't seem very high.
I wonder if that
15, 30.
there aren't many balls hitting the penthouse and ending up in the forehand corner. So
75.
We had a match,
15-30.
first match of the knockout rounds was between Rob Jenkman and Bertie Vella. I think there were 22 grills hit in that.
What's the second gallery? 2 chases.
Yeah, 22 grills in a best of 3 set match.
I don't think I hit 22 grills in a year when I was playing. I just think if they're playing lots of backhand to backhand rallies and trying to keep the ball on the floor, then it's not a shot that the grill doesn't naturally present itself as a target. I think the guys have returned well, so the cross-court volleys been on the floor 98% of the time.
Yeah.
Better than 5.
So they're not giving people the chance to hit that easy grill put away.
Game
points
points
in
in
Nicky.
gallery.
First and second gallery. Plenty of options here. Bryn needs to keep his serve tight.
Worse than the second gallery.
Otherwise that mini comeback of his isn't going to count for much.
Nice.
That's
It's a great round.
great
too.
shot.
Top serve.
30, 40.
Another 20 to 25 of those and he's fine.
That's the serve. That is the serve, Bryn.
Deuce.
He lost his footing there.
Serve advantage.
I think Bryn's seen it now. It's okay.
Second gallery. Advantage, 1 chase.
It's another big point. Difference between juicing 4-2 and 4-3. 3 games in a row. And maybe a little doubt starts to creep into Nicky's mind.
Especially when you have 2 game points.
Yes.
5-2 there.
Receives advantage. Better than the second gallery. Bolt.
And a second serve.
No, thank you. Wins the chase. And again.
Suddenly 4-3.
3 games to 4.
Whole
So
different
lead.
feel to the game.
Was he followed up?
He was. Great pickup.
15 love.
Looks like Bryn's doing everything a little bit better suddenly. A bit more pace on that volley. A bit more direction.
Yeah. He's not changed too much, but just a bit more clinical.
So now we're saying if you'd switched coaching camps now and you're now at Nicky's side, 4-love to 4-3, what are you telling him?
I think he's got to take the game to Bryn again. I think he's got to step up the pace a little bit. I think he slowed it down slightly, which is just allow Bryn to grow into the match. Take a few more risks, be brave.
From the second gallery.
Second gallery. Slowed that one down into Bryn's forehand.
30-15, worse than 2. Chase. 30 all.
For disturbance. On the side galleries. Steward sorting it out.
30 all.
Child being escorted out of the building. Big ball. Well played.
40, 30.
Game point for 4 all, wow.
That did not look likely at 4-love.
You see Bryn sporting the tournament t-shirt. Champions Trophy logo on the back, Mitsubishi Electric sponsor on the front.
Big hitting.
Receiver's advantage.
Oh, well, great rest. Bryn comes out on top to get another game point. Before, no, he doesn't. It's juice. No, he does.
Service advantage. Go. Two. Advantage, one chase.
Change of pace from Nicky, gets him down to the serving end, which he's not been at for a while. Another potentially massive point. Difference between 4-all and the chance to go 5-3.
Yeah, it feels like the match could turn on this point. When Nicky takes it, it will be a long way back for Bryn, having just used up all that energy. Though he doesn't look like he's using up much energy. He never does.
I was thinking more the fact he's running out of time, because there'll be a certain 5-3.
Receiver's advantage, 1 and 2. Juice. Receives advantage. More than a yard worse than the last gallery. Advantage.
I would definitely say Nicky's serve continues to be a little bit erratic and certainly not the same as the first set in 4 games. He's getting the odd one to get up the court and into the sidewall, but Bryn's getting a lot more opportunities to do what he wants with the ball.
Good to see
Serve
both
advantage.
the
More
viewing
than a
gallery
yard
and
worse
the
than the
Derrons
last gallery.
packed out today. Top support.
Go.
More than a yard worse. What a shot, what a backhand.
Juice.
Saves another game point.
Seven and a half yard. Juice.
It's a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of cut on that forehand volley.
Oh,
Advantage, one chase.
been here before, advantage one chase. It's a good chase as well, so I suspect we might be here again.
Receiver's advantage. Better than half a yard. Better than half. Deuce.
So a heck of a serve to throw in then.
Server's advantage. Game. 5 games
Massive
to 3.
games, first game point. And
Serve leads time.
taking it, that would be pretty crushing for Bryn.
On the plus side, at least Bryn's in the set.
Go for it.
So that's 5-3. He's not a million miles away from the set.
Love.
It's either a great shot or a little fortunate.
15 all.
Not seen many winning galleries. Oh, he didn't need that.
15.
No, it's not a good serve when he needs it though.
No, I went under. 30 all.
Through the net, that one. A bit of a gap on the side. There's the grill. One of the first we've seen on that penthouse in that corner. Match point. And Nicky Howell takes the match.
A little closer than it looked as if it was going to be at one point, but I'm sure he will be very happy with that.
He'll be absolutely delighted. 6-1, 6-3.
Nicky Howell wins 6-1, 6-3.
Dropped a total of 8 games over his 2 matches in the quarters and the semis. He'll take on John Lumley next in the final. So we've got some
Ladies and gents, there is another match. There's a ladies'
statistics
exhibition will
on
follow
the
shortly, so we'd love
board.
if you'd stay and have a watch.
12 dead-ons in the match, 7 grills, 2 winning galleries. Lots of points won.
Lots of points won on serve by Nicky. I think his percentage went down from, I think he was at maybe 83% in the first set, so that's gone down a lot from the second to take that percentage down, but also setting a better chase on average
Kind of evened out a little bit.
from Bryn. It looks like he just did everything a little bit better. And the points won, figuring that Nicky's huge advantage in that category based on the first set rather than the second.
Only 1 hour and 3 minutes, the match duration. So we'll do a little bit of a presentation now for, not a presentation, a little bit of an interview. I think for the finalist, Nicky Howell. And then that will follow with a ladies exhibition match. Will be between Jess Garside and Nicola Doble. first game to 8. Sorry, one set to 8 between Nicola Doble and Jess Garside.
Good to see the ladies well prepared, on court ready before the interviews have even started.
They're ready to go.
They certainly are.
And
No
that-
messing around.
And that will be followed by a doubles match between our two promising juniors in the country, Darcy Blaber and Catherine Carney. They'll join Nicola and Jess on the court, set to 8. I'm going to go down to get ready to mark the ladies' exhibition, so I'm going to leave you to close out the show, Peter. But it's been a pleasure. Thank you very
Jack,
much.
good to see you. It's been, I think, 12 months since the last time, and hopefully it won't be 12 months again, and I'll either catch you at a paddle event somewhere, or I might sneak my way back and watch a little bit of real tennis here at Hampton Court or somewhere else.
Okay, we're going to throw it down to Giles Doy interviewing Nikki.
Great, thank you very much, Jack. Down here courtside with Nick Howell. Just won our second semi-final match, 6-1, 6-4. Nick, 6-3. Apologies, sorry. Nick, that seemed, for I guess the first sort of 10, 11 games or so, that very much felt like one-way traffic.
Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable. I was serving really well and was returning well. And yeah, I think I won 10 or 10 games on the bounce. Bryn's a terrific competitor, just coming back from injury. So the longer I stayed out there, the more he might warm into the match. And well, he certainly did. And you know, he had points for 4-all. Managed to hang in there and close it out at the end, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, and I guess what needs to change in terms of like tactics and strategy, because it seemed like almost having like a little bit of a wobble, just that kind of nearly at 4-all.
Yeah, I just what it was is my racket. I felt my racket was getting a bit loose on the return of serve, and I wasn't having enough penetration, so I swapped to the freshly strung racket. But then serving that railroad, I was stuck there for a couple of games. I couldn't get it in to save my life, and then yeah, it was just for the first time I've ever have used one racket for receiving and one racket for returning, and then was sort of able to get things back on track and trying to stop Bryn's onslaught, because he started to really tidy up his game. And yeah.
And one part of your game that I think most of us kind of look forward to and like kind of seeing is a lot of forcing, a lot of targets. Yeah. Didn't really see a lot of that on show today.
No, I think you're getting really well rewarded on the floor on this court. So I'm happy to, put some good cut shots into the corners, because if you put a lot of spin on this court, on the ball, it really reacts difficultly for, your opponents to try and get them back. So I was happy to, avoid forcing as much as I do on other courts.
And I guess just quickly looking forward to tomorrow, coming up against number 1 seed John Lumley. Yeah. You've not played against him, I think, in open matches, and since I think we were looking up to, Australia 2024 in the final. What kind of tennis could we expect to see in tomorrow's final?
I may have to do a little bit more forcing with John's. I mean, just John and Cam are the best retrievers in the game, so be about taking my opportunities when they come. My open record is not too good against John, but I did have a good run in the eliminator against him, and I think I won like 5 sets in a row, so I can use some of that as confidence. But I'm going in the underdog, and I'm just excited that I get a chance to at least defend my title.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations on winning your semi-final today. Best luck in tomorrow's final. Thank you very much. Back up to you, Peter and Jack.
So, I was distracted slightly by the somewhat bizarre dancing routine of one of our ladies, young Miss Garside, giving us a demonstration maybe of how she'll be moving later on in the day before she gets ready for a match. Back to the serious stuff of semi-finals and finals in the Champions Trophy. I'm sure Nicky Howell will be happy with that, and now just working out how he's going to work his way past John Lumley in the final, which will be played tomorrow. Two contrasting styles, but I'm sure we're in for some excellent tennis.